this episode, we have one of the most prolific algo traders, an absolute killer in the stock markets, has trained thousands of people in technical analysis.
A lot of people have this very exciting stories to tell that my families think that it is a speculation, it's a satta that you should not make a career out of it. My dad actually encourages me. I wanted to get into DJing as well, so I learned how to do scratching, how to make music, and I still love music a lot till date. Yeah, that would helpful for me also what I've done.
You just explained breakout pattern in the most simple way.
If you pursue your dreams, I think so everything is possible. That's what it has taught me over the years of time. It's like, the money is just a byproduct.
Before I begin this podcast, I have a small announcement. For those who don't know me, I'm Aakash. I make videos in the stock markets, marketing, and business. I also run a marketing business. On the announcement, I'm going to be more active on YouTube. The last 2 years have been quite a ride for me, from moving countries to figuring out time to make more content for you guys. And now I'm going to be more active on this channel. Today is a big day. I have a very special guest on this episode. I am very proud of the guests that I've been able to bring on this podcast for you guys who have shared their business secrets, their models, their complete blueprints for you guys to help you build your business. I have only one small request in return. Please subscribe to this channel, like the videos, comment, share the episodes with your friends and family who are in the process of trying to build their businesses. As the channel grows, the more guests that I'll be able to bring on. So please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Now back to the podcast.
Vishal sir, finally we have you here. I have a short intro for you. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, that would helpful for me also what I've done.
So in this episode, we have one of the most prolific algo traders. He sits on the board of CMT Association, an absolute killer in the stock markets, has trained thousands of people in technical analysis. It's such an honor to have you, Vishal sir. How are you doing today?
All good, Akash. All good. Thanks a lot.
All right. So a quick disclaimer, any views shared by Vishal sir in this video are going to be for educational purposes. They are not any recommendations. Whatever he shares on individual stocks would be a case study. Please do your own research. All right. Sir, can you tell us about your story? Like, how did you get into the stock markets? Why stock markets? And can you share some background about you so that people can know more like what you have done?
Sure. So let me start with my background first. So I'm a BSc with MS in finance, Master of Science in Finance, and then I got an opportunity to do my CMT, which is a Chartered Market Technician.
Right.
So that's on the education front, but let me just take you through a story where I kind of get into. So honestly, the stock market is not new to me. Like, a lot of people have a lot of very exciting stories to tell that my families was against stock market, thinking that they think that it is a speculation and, it's a satta that you should not make a career out of it. On the contrary, I was more lucky enough that my father used to be a broker of Bombay Stock Exchange. So we had our own card, and my dad actually encourages me till date today, to get into the stock market, because he believes of that famous word कि stock market एक बहुत बड़ा कुआं है वो जो पूरी इंडिया की प्यास बुझा सकता है. So he knew that what is the potential for it, but I honestly never liked about like not fancied about getting a career into the stock market. But in 2002, after I graduated with my bachelor's of science, I didn't know what to do with my career, and I had three career options with me. Like, I was a decent cricketer. So I used to be a left-arm spinner. So I used to play for a club, and I used to play for my colleges. So I thought, no, you know what? I will make a career in cricket. Then I wanted to get into DJing as well. So I learned how to do scratching, how to make music, and I still love music a lot till date. And third was getting into stock market. So these were the three career options that I kind of envisage myself. Interestingly, I chose where my history was there. Considering my father had a background in the stock market, I thought it will be relatively easy to pick up and make some money, which eventually turned out not the case. So I pursued that. I did various courses from Bombay Stock Exchange, BSc Training Institute, about like anything that I could get my hands on the education front, like technical analysis, derivative analysis, mutual fund analysis. Then I've done a certificate course on capital market, certificate course on stock market, anything that is that available, I would have completed them. And then eventually I said it's theory, but not practical. And then I luckily I got some money from my uncle who gave me some 10 lakh rupees way back in 2002 to Vishal, you've been studying so much, I'm going to ready to give you some 10 lakh rupees. And that's how my journey to the stock market started.
Okay, so we match on 2 out of 3 stories that you said.
Right.
My father
Which are-
is in the stock markets. Like
Right.
I am a byproduct of my dad. Whatever I've learned is because of him. I wouldn't have known. कुछ समझ में नहीं आता, पहले तो मैं सिर्फ न्यूज़ देख के ऐसे बोलता था कि ये अच्छा लग रहा है, ये अच्छा लग रहा है. अब ये
सही बात
ब्रोकर
है.
पे बात कर रहे थे. So yeah, 2 out of 3. I am into music. I make music for myself now. That I don't think I'm going to be a financially capable musician someday. Hopefully. Okay.
And I'm sure if you pursue your dreams, I think so everything is possible. That's what it has taught me over the years of time. It's like, the money is just a byproduct. Like I will tell you, like, people always, young kids kind of always think that, there is no money in cricket, there is no money in music, or maybe there is no money in being an hairstylist, or maybe, I still remember going to Oxford Street, which is one of the most expensive street in London, right? To have a shop. And there was this cobbler, I would call it, like, cobbler shop,
Yeah.
where only the Queen Victorias of the, like London and all the queens used to come to get their customized sandals. So you need to be best in what you do, and there is money available. So the point is, you need to be on the top of that pyramid, and money will always flow.
Absolutely. All right. So at what point did you realize like you want to go all in on trading and you want to quit your job? Like that would be helpful to a lot of people who want to like quit their jobs and go into trading. And like, can you tell them like what are the steps that you took to become a financially successful trader and not somebody just who wants to try a few things and then figure out how to go?
It's a good question to answer because this kind of, I get almost every day one or tweets saying that, I want to quit my job. Okay. I want to, kind of quit and, start get into the full-time trading. I just want to check, is my voice
Yes.
available? Yeah.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So now, okay. So that's a question that everybody has it. I also had it. The thing is, you have to just take a one step back. I just met up with one guy in one of the conference, and he told me that, Vishal sir, I'm like, very inspired by you. I want to get into full time trading. And I asked him why.
Yeah.
So he said, what, I like the kick of, trading the full time and all that stuff. And then I think so you're for the wrong reason. Okay.
Yeah.
If your kick is to, if you are there, want to get into full-time trading for the kick, there may be a situation you will only get kick of trading full-time, but you will not make money. Okay. So if whenever somebody would tell me, what, I hate my job. I really want to be on my own. That's a cozy good answer, but still not a very conclusive answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody tells me, Vishal, what, I want to be right all the time. Again, the wrong reason. So I'm not going to give you a perfect answer to it, but the why has to be very clear. For me, why was clear in terms of 2 ways, money, but more importantly, my own free time.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's why I actually chose not to be an active trader. I chose to be an algorithmic systematic trader. Okay. And it's not only one person, it is basically a team that you have to build to become a systematic trader. So the most important thing is, first of all, your why has to be very clear. Why do you want to, just because you don't like your boss or you don't like your job, it's not a sufficient why for you.
Yeah. Right. It's a part of it. Like you also have to enjoy the process that comes. You have to go through each step. You have to fail and then understand what is it that worked and what didn't work. Like I can relate to that. Okay, sir. Right off the bat, sir, market कैसा लग रहा है अभी?
Quick one. If you're into the stock markets and would like to open a demat account, I have partnered with Angel Broking. Please use my referral link. Their technology is amazing. I love the platform. They have one of the lowest brokerages in the industry. It's 20 rupees per trade. Their support is amazing. I have used it myself. I can vouch for it. Use my referral link. Now, back to the podcast.
So market, to be honest, I put out a tweet and I have no regrets of telling people that I can be wrong. And I always, most of the time, if you ask me, I'm about 7% out of 10 times I would be wrong. Okay. So I was bearish on the market significantly, but now with the recent movement and how the market is behaving, I think so we are going to actually break a all-time high.
Okay.
Going forward. So yeah, it's अभी तो market bullish ही लग रहा है.
Right. I remember
No,
sir, पहले
no,
बात हुई थी. I was in Toronto. I
right.
called you. You said we might head into like we are in the bearish territory because of de-dollarization, and then there was a lot of other things going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was
So
wrong. I
it's
was
the thing.
bearish too
It's
at some point.
yeah. So and I don't have any grudges. If I'm wrong, I accept it and I move
No,
forward.
no, absolutely. Sir, like even we as human beings get influenced by a lot of external like factors, recession and other things. So we have to
So
be careful.
so
Okay.
in a way, I would want to change this for me at least. I usually, I started out as a technical analyst, purely looking at the chart. Okay. Then eventually, what happened was in 2020, just before the Corona crash, I put it out a tweet which looked similar to 2008 formation.
Hmm.
And to be honest, just before the banking crisis hit US, we
Yeah.
had the similar kind of pattern repeating.
Yeah.
Okay. And everything was perfect, picture perfect.
Mm-hmm.
On 2020, we had this big breakdown on the budget day, and then there was a subsequent recovery, and then there was a massive sell off.
Yeah.
Okay. So, over a period of time, you have started realizing that technical analysis, along with a catalyst,
Mm-hmm.
will be proven much more devastating in if on your position sizing. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
we always say that price discounts everything, and I firmly believe that. But for that price discounting to happen, there has to be
Mm-hmm.
some catalyst
Yeah.
to trigger that sell off or a trigger that buying pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be, over a period of time, I was hardcore chartist or a technical analyst, but I've started over a period of time looking at the macro factors as well and combining them together. Yes.
Okay. That's too complicated. Like, sir, आप explain करोगे, sir, how, okay, somebody who has no idea trading, like we talk about all these words from sell off, you talk about how all these patterns occur, sir, basic को explain करना हो तो कैसे करें? Like, what is trading? What are the simple patterns that you need to keep in mind? अगर आपको ट्रेड करना है कोई भी स्टॉक में या इंडेक्स में, तो वो कैसे करते हैं?
So इसमें पहले तो पैटर्न्स क्यों फॉर्म होते हैं वो समझना जरूरी है. ठीक है. We are a habit of creatures. Okay. No, we are creatures of habit. Sorry. Okay, we are the creatures of habit, and we are going to tend to do things again and again and again. Okay. Who makes the market? You and me makes the market. The people like us makes the market. Okay. When there is a panic, okay, even if we know there is no reason to be panicked, but everyone around us is panicking, we will panic.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
So what happens is these two different things comes together in terms of the habits and the social thread on which we are built on. Okay. मतलब थोड़ा heavy word है, लेकिन just to give you a simple example, कि अगर आपको पता है कि ऐसा ऐसा होता है तो ऐसा ही होता है. Let's take an example of your girlfriend or a wife or a husband or a boyfriend. If you have stayed with them for a long enough, you know कि ये चीज से they get irritated. Okay, and there is always the threshold, trigger point till which you can flirt. But once you breach those threshold, you know they are going to break out somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
The same thing happens to the market. Okay. There are kind of patterns that are getting repeated again and again, but then there will be thresholds on which you will test them, and if that market breaks about those thresholds, you will see a big explosive moves. So
Right.
as a technical analysis, what we try to do is try to figure out what is the repetitive patterns, and we
Uh,
kind of build those thresholds. If they are then in between, okay, you can trade those thresholds.
okay.
But if there is, you flirted with that threshold and it breaks out them, you know what to do with that. You have to let them leave alone,
Yeah, you just explained breakout pattern in the most simple ways. Okay. सर स्ट्रेटजी बिल्ड कैसे कर सकते हैं सर? ये पैटर्न तो समझ में आ गया है, फाइंड आउट अ थ्रेशोल्ड एंड देन ट्रेड विद इन दैट। सर उस पे स्ट्रेटजी कैसे बिल्ड कर सकते हैं, और उस पे सेम स्ट्रेटजी कोई एसेट क्लास पे कैसे बिठा सकते हैं हम?
Which is a very good question, sir, Aakash. So I think sir, सबसे पहले तो it's not about patterns and strategies, okay? It's all about what kind of a person you are, and that's what I've realized over a period of time. Okay, um, you may borrow one of the best strategies. Go to YouTube, and you will find 10,000 strategies.
Yes.
Okay, say 999
Mm-hmm.
of them are useless and crap.
Absolutely.
But it's up to you whether those useless strategy can you turn them around and turn to your advantage. Because most of the strategies that are available, we have actually backtested them and we figured out they are a negative edge strategy.
Mm.
I do not imply that we just reverse those trades,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and start making profit of it.
Right.
But what we try to do is understand of why that strategy did not work, and
Oh.
if we figured it out what is not working, half of our work is done.
Done. Yes. Exactly.
Okay, so it is remaining now to explore whatever we actually go by the other way around. We try to figure out not what works, we
Right.
actually try to figure out what does not work.
Yeah.
And if it does not work, then eventually you will fine tune your strategies. So most important thing is your behavior, what kind of a person you are. And that's why I always recommend a newcomer to read this book called as The Market Wizard.
The market wizard. Okay.
Okay, by a author called Jack Schwager. So he has a series of this book called as Market Wizard, New Market Wizard, Stock Market Wizard, Unknown Market Wizard, and hedge fund wizard. So this is a series of about 6 or 7 books,
Right.
which is nothing but the interviews of the world's top traders.
Okay.
Okay, they are like legendary in their own terms. Now the beauty about it is first of all, you can't be everything. You cannot be Sachin Tendulkar or you cannot be Rahul Dravid.
Exactly.
If you would have asked Rahul Dravid, okay, to open in the first 15 overs or 10 overs when the super overs were there, you know what is going to happen. And obviously, batsmen like Virendra Sehwag, if you're going to put him in the last order, you know what is going to. So everyone has their own rules and on their own characteristics. What these books helps you to figure out. So when you read through these all interviews of the world's top trader, somewhere you will start resonating with the trader. Not all of them. Some of them you will find this is definitely not me.
Yeah.
Some of them will say, yeah, this is me, but I don't like the way he trades. But there will be 1 or 2 traders in your mind, even if you don't know about stock market, okay? Even if you are just exploring what is stock market, you will get fascinated by their stories, their journey.
Exactly. Yes.
There is a very high probability, I'm using my words very carefully, high probability, because there is no certainty that you may be that kind of a trader. So when I started out reading those books, okay, I got resonated, got connected to this trader called as Edward Saikota.
Okay.
Okay. And he talked about that, you know what? A lot of investors or traders buy all-time low or 52-week low.
Right.
Okay. But importantly, lot of traders also, not investor, but a lot of traders also buy, thinking that they are at the all-time low or a 52-week low. Let's buy it. And they actually lose money.
Okay.
On the contrary, he said, I only buy all-time high, which is the purest form of trend following.
Exactly.
So when I was reading that book, it was very contrary to what I was started to think out. Okay, I said, you know what? I was also thinking, let me buy at all-time low or 52-week high, 52-week low.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go back to the chart and try
Okay.
to figure out, saying that okay, if the stock is hitting an all-time high after say
Mm-hmm.
multiple years, what
Mm-hmm.
happened to that stock? And to my surprise, the stock just kept on going up and up and up.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, I realized, you know what? I'm not over a period of time that I'm a trend follower. I'm not a mean
Oh.
reversion. I didn't
Hmm.
know about mean reversion back then. I'll tell you about the
Yeah.
second journey of it.
Yeah.
But at that point of time, I realized I was more of a trend follower.
Right.
Okay. And then I started searching for those, whatever the trend following strategies were, and started
Mm-hmm.
building my
Hmm.
strategies on top of trend following.
Right. Quick
Okay.
question. Did you also
Sure.
study on the stocks that were going up, like business side, or only the trend side?
On the trend side, nothing on the business side.
Okay.
Okay. I just was purely playing price actions.
Okay.
Okay. What I realized over a period of time, the news comes later. The
Uh-huh.
the price always, price discounts everything. But in
Mm-hmm.
the broader index system, I actually look for the macro factor. But at least on the stock front, the breakouts usually I don't look at the fundamental factor, because the fundamental factors usually comes after a quarter or something like that
Yes. Yes.
on the
Exactly.
balance sheets to reflect, or
Yeah.
maybe it will take a longer term trends to follow.
Mm-hmm.
But on the indexes, yes, for a big breakout or breakdown, I look for the macro factors to be combined with. But in
Okay.
stocks, I don't. But
Okay.
then, as my capital started growing,
Mm-hmm.
what I also started realizing is the trend following is prone to a lot of false breakouts.
Hmm.
So eventually, I was not very comfortable with the sharp
Swings. Yeah.
drawdowns,
Mm-hmm.
swings in my M2Ms.
Yeah.
I was reading through the books and I came across a guy called Larry Connors who started using 2 period RSI.
Okay.
Okay. And I said, okay, that sound very simple. Like, whenever 2 period RSI goes below 10, you buy on a
Mm-hmm.
broader term when the 200-day moving averages are going up. And
Hmm.
I actually backtested a lot of system and I realized that it actually makes money.
Hmm.
Okay. So in
Okay.
that way, I started allocating a certain portion of my capital to the mean reversion. So
Oh.
what I'm trying to say is, how do you go about building your strategies? Is actually, first of all, you have to figure out what kind of a trader, in the first instance, master one.
Hmm.
Eventually, you as a trader will evolve into a different format.
Okay.
Okay. That you jump, but at least for at least 3 years, 5 years, or maybe you will be
Hmm.
always be a trend follower, which is phenomenal.
Hmm.
Okay. Like I know few of my friends who are purest form of trend followers, they go through severe drawdowns, but they make much bigger money than we make. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very comfortable with the sharper drawdowns.
Yes.
So I figured it out. Neither I
Hmm.
am Virendra Sehwag,
Yeah.
neither I am, say, in the later of, say, Mohammad Kaif. I'm somewhere in between. I want to play both
Between.
the game. Okay, so
Yes.
first you figure out what you are good at and build on top of that.
Right. Self-awareness is the key. Like you have to know your strengths and weaknesses, and even in like whatever thing that you do. You pointed out like 2 point RSI. सर आप एग्जाम्पल के साथ दिखा सकते हैं आपका स्क्रीन शेयर करके कि वो कैसे होता है, कैसे कोई भी सर स्ट्रेटजी बिल्ड करके वो सिंपल ट्रेंड फॉलो करके उसमें पैसा कमा सकते हैं.
So this is the chart of, say, Bank Nifty. Okay,
Okay.
on a 1 hour chart, you can do it on any time frame. I'm just showing you the power of this indicator. The
Okay.
first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put, say, moving average, which is a
Mm-hmm.
longer term moving average. So in
Okay.
this scenario, if it is about, say, 5 or 10 period, I'm going to make it, say, 200, which is a longer term duration.
Okay.
This on a hourly chart can be different, on a 5 minute chart can be different, in terms of,
Yes.
I'm just trying to get a broader sense of the market, where the
Got it.
market is headed, not on the number of hours. Okay.
Got it.
And then I come here and type in RSI, which is
Mm-hmm.
relative strength index.
Mm-hmm.
Now what you can see is this relative strength index is actually of a 14 period and goes
Mm-hmm.
up and down quite frequently. So the
Hmm.
first thing that I'm going to do is I make an RSI length of 1. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
look, and I don't want the moving average and everything. I'm just going to take this. The another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make it as 90 and 10. Okay.
Hmm.
And I'm going
Okay.
to change the color of to, say, black.
Okay.
So we
सर
can
इसका
easily
शॉर्ट में
see.
आप एक्सप्लेनेशन देगा कि like what are these points like RSI upper
Sure.
band 50 and 90 10.
Yeah. So basically, if you go to the RSI, okay,
Mm-hmm.
RSI, I would encourage you to do some, searching, but at least RSI is nothing but a momentum indicator. Whenever in a traditional RSI, which consists of 14 period, okay, which is like a half lunar cycle. So last 14 days में it captures the momentum if the market is going up or market is going down. And then you capture whether the market is in overbought or oversold territory. So whenever the market is above 70, it is an overbought, and if the market is below 30, it is considered as an oversold, and market should go up eventually.
Okay,
Now
got it.
that is the traditional definition. But what Larry Connors did was beautiful thing. He created a very short-term indicator to capture short-term reversal. So he said, okay, you know what? I'm just not going to, rather than just taking 14 bars, I'm going to capture the last 2 bars. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to move my the overbought and oversold levels to not 70-30 but 90-10, because I'm looking for a short-term reversal.
That is very
Now,
smart.
yeah. So now what he did was very important thing, that this is my 200-day moving average. So what it is telling you that the underlying trend is very positive. Okay. You can understand.
Yeah.
The underlying
I
trend
got
is
it.
very. Now what he does is, whenever this 2-period RSI, can you see this dotted line on the
Yes, I
below?
can.
It's a 10
Yes.
period,
Yes.
and when it is above this line, it is above 80. So when the market is in like in an uptrend territory, it is in an up territory, you look for buying opportunity when the market is actually coming down. So now, if you see the value of RSI, okay, if you can see the value of the RSI can be seen here.
Yes,
The
I can.
overall trend is positive.
Right.
Yes, here you can
Yes.
see.
Yes.
So what is the RSI value right now?
Between
48.90.
60. Sorry?
But you can see 48.90 on this
Yes,
part,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, yes, 48.9.
Somewhere around here it was 48.90.
Yes.
Okay, I'm waiting for it to go below 10. This is 10.57. In a way,
Yes,
I would
10.
still wait for it if I was
Right.
still a systematic trader. And
Right.
this is where it
Three-
got below 3.63.
3.63. Yes.
My underlying trend was positive. It went below 10.
10.
On
Yes.
a red candle, when everybody's panicking, you actually go and buy it.
Okay.
Okay. If you would have bought a bank nifty at 42,015, and when
Right.
it goes above 80, you sell, which is about
Okay.
42,572. You're going to pocket
Got
it.
it.
Now you wait for the right opportunity. The 2-period RSI never went below 10.
10.
If
Still
it is
18.47.
18.47,
Yes.
12.62, but here it went below 10.
10. Yes. Again, you buy there.
You buy that one when everybody's selling, and whenever it goes above this thing, you exit
Right.
again.
Got it.
So this is what it was referring to. Obviously, you will not get always the accuracy of the system is about 70%, because sometimes you may also have to read a lot of good books by Larry Connors.
That's really good. Sir, ये सिर्फ बैंक निफ्टी में काम आएगा ये जो strategy है?
So okay, so before going to the bank nifty, we'll talk about the selling side also, right?
Okay.
So here you can see over here, when it is below 200 period moving average, okay, you can see that whenever this RSI is about 90, that is the time to go short, and it actually really helps you to pocket almost not all the reversal, but some of the reversals very well.
Yes.
Right. So in this way, you can actually start pocketing a lot of mean reversion trades as well.
Nice. This is.
Let's talk about some stocks. Which stocks that you look out for? Let's
go with Reliance.
I knew. Because that is the first word that comes to everyone's mind. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you have to tell me, okay? What is the trend, say, assuming from this period onwards, the trend in the Reliance is positive or negative?
It's positive. Above
Positive.
200 day moving average is above positive.
It's not a day, because you're doing on an hourly chart. So it's a 200 period, I would say.
At
So
200.
it's about 200 hours, right?
200 hours.
Now I'm waiting for a kind of thing to go down. Now, if you can see over here, 2 period
at 4.55.
Yes, so this is where I would have entered Reliance at 2329.
Mm-hmm.
If I would, as I told you, you can do something called a scaling, which is averaging till your 200-day moving average is not breached, or 200-day, 200 period
Wait. Come
moving
again.
average.
Say that again. Like,
Okay, so basically, you're trying to catch a falling knife.
mm,
You're trying to catch a falling knife. So you really don't know when the market is going to make a bottom. So
yes.
assuming you wanted to buy, say, 150 shares, I'm just giving some numbers, okay?
Yeah.
What you do is don't buy them at one go. Buy
Okay.
50. If it still
Mm,
falls, you buy another 50, and if it still falls, buy another 50, but not more than 3. Break down your
okay.
orders, okay?
Okay.
And this is how institutional also put their money in.
Mm,
Okay, what they do is actually they buy
okay.
when average it, but till their reversal point. So in this
Mm,
scenario, say assuming I bought say 100 shares, say 300 shares I wanted to buy. Okay,
mm,
once it is below 10, I buy 100 shares.
okay.
On the next bar, it still remain below 100.
Right.
I buy another 100 shares.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was waiting to buy another 100 shares, but it never
But it
came.
went up.
It went up, so I sold all my 200 shares.
Okay.
Okay, this gives me a power of averaging.
Right.
Again, if you see over here, the market
Yes.
came down
Down
below 10,
1.81.
still
Mm,
remain below 100, still
mm,
remain below, and then on the third bar onwards, it went up and then went up. So now
right.
what I'm trying to see is looking at the opportunities when the market is
Mm,
in a short-term reversal trend method. This is what
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to build on.
Okay. Sir, quick question. Sir, अभी इसमें ऐसे दिखता है like you can in hindsight we can see which point at this point the RSI value was this much. But sometimes when the price action is still like there's some volatility, there's also some changes that happening in the live market. सर उस पे कैसे डिसीजन ले सकते हैं कि अभी एंट्री पॉइंट है और एग्जिट पॉइंट है हमारा?
See, thing is about technical analysis. Everybody says the chart looks beautiful on
Hmm.
the left side. Okay, it's the most difficult part is the right side.
Yes.
I should have done this, I should have done this, I should have bought here, I should
Yes.
have sold here.
Yes.
The thing that people who argue with that argument, I have only one point to make over here, right? At
Hmm.
this point of time, when the chart was here,
Yes.
okay,
Hmm.
it was still at that point of time left side only, okay,
Yes.
but you did not have the courage to
Hmm.
believe that the system works, okay,
Yeah.
because if started going down, you would have said, you know what, I have not traded it, but then
Yeah.
at here there was an opportunity that
To
you could have
go.
exited. The chart did not change,
Yes.
your conviction changed.
Hmm.
So and it all comes down to like how, and again it boils down to your philosophy about the market, your
Hmm.
rigorous backtesting of your strategies.
Hmm.
Because when you would have just done visually seen this like this, I would have bought here, I would have sold here, I would have bought here, I would have sold here, it does
Yeah.
not have involved the emotions. But once you start
Yes.
putting money, your emotion
Hmm.
kicks in, and once you start making money
Hmm.
through roughs, we always tell that you need to go through at least 3 drawdowns
Yes.
to become a better trader, and that is what
Hmm.
happens. Like as you rightly mentioned, the chart always looks good on the
To
left hand
the left
side,
side. Hmm.
but it is you have to go through that. At one point of time, this was the left side, but
Hmm.
then and eventually when you traded through, it became a right side.
Right side. Yes. सर हम
So
इस पे follow up question हम बोलते हैं like you should back test your strategy. तो किसी को ऐसे like they understand chart patterns or something कि अभी positive or negative है. They understand basic things, but how do you actually back test it? To what point should you back test it to make sure that this strategy can become profitable?
see, first of all, you have to again figure it out. Why do you want to backtest?
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
there are excellent discretionary trader.
Okay.
Okay. So every question that you will ask me, I will just answer it with why,
Why? Yes.
because it has to be answered why first, and then you can build on top of
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So first of all, why do you want to backtest it?
Hmm.
My reason was very clear. I'm a CMT. Okay.
Okay.
I did phenomenally well in my exams. Okay. And whenever there are breakouts, I can actually spot them very well.
Hmm.
But the problem with me was to make a discretionary decision. So whenever the money was involved, whatever I've learned and whatever the things that I have taught, it becomes very difficult to implement myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so my why was very clear that whatever things that I can visualize it, I want to code it and let the computer make the decision.
Okay.
Okay, and so that's where the journey of me as a systematic trader went about. I still
Yeah.
till today I'm a very good analyst, but I'm a very bad discretionary trader. Okay, so I'm a very good analyst, but I'm a very bad discretionary trader, but I'm an excellent systematic trader. So you
Right.
have to figure it out what bucket you fall into, like either you are a Virendra Sehwag, you are a Sachin, what you are good at, and build
Right.
your journey from top of that. Now, once, why did I also went into the backtesting is my philosophy was very simple. See, assuming a student like in your school days or college days, if a person is consistently coming first or second in your class, there is a very high probability in the next exam he will continue to top because he is doing something right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
there is a very less probability that he will fail.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
So.
and similarly, if a person is scoring very less or he's consistently failing, there may be a situation where he all of a sudden becomes like topper of the class. But due to his history, there is a very less probability that he will top the class all the time, and he'll
Yeah.
continue to get the lower marks.
Yeah.
The same philosophy works on the market as well. If a trading system is actually working and is like doing well, there is a very high probability, and again I'm using my words very carefully. Probability, not certainty, because it messes your mind. If
Yeah.
you think in certainty, and in stock
Yes.
market you don't think certainty.
Yes.
Okay, so in that scenario, what will happen is what I was saying, it will continue to outperform or it will continue to do well in the future.
Right.
But if a strategy is mediocre or it's not generating good results, there's a very high probability it will continue to do that way.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's where when you backtest your strategies, you're trying to figure out. I'm not talking about optimized strategy, but I'm talking about an consistent profitable strategy.
Exactly. Yeah. Sir, like we understood how to, like you should back test it, you should understand your whys. पर सर एक एक्सपेक्टेशन तो रहती है दिमाग में कि इस स्ट्रैटेजी में मुझे एक्सपेक्ट करता हूँ कि इतने परसेंटेज रिटर्न मिल सकते हैं सर वो एक्सपेक्टेशन कैसे डिटरमाइन करते हैं हम
Very good question. See, it is again a coin of risk and reward. Okay, people always talk about कि कितना return मिलना चाहिए. Actually, the question you should ask is मेरा drawdown लेने का capacity कितना है? Drawdown means मेरा loss लेने का capacity कितना है?
Yes.
And in my experience, when people say that I'm ready to lose 10% or 20%, trust me, your capacity is half of that. And say assuming I'm ready to take 10% drawdown, your capacity is 5%, and
Yes.
most probably you will quit trading in 2.5.
Yes.
Okay, so you will overestimate your risk taking ability. So that's where I actually talk about what kind of drawdowns that you're ready to take, and it is again fits with your personality and your strategy.
Right.
So if I am a trend follower, okay, you may see a drawdown of 30-40% also. Okay, but on the contrary, you will make also 40-80% also, maybe 50 or 100% return also.
Okay, sir, 30-40% बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है like I am not
That's
that risk averse.
that's what my point is. What kind of there are people who are ready to take 30-40 क्योंकि उनकी capital छोटे हैं. They are aiming for the moon. उनको 1 लाख का 2 लाख बनाना है या 2 लाख का 4 लाख बनाना है.
Okay.
ठीक है. Then those are the strategies which are purest trend following strategies. Without anything, you buy an all-time high breakout, you put a 2 ATR or 3 ATR stop loss, and you ride the rally.
Okay.
Or you take in leverage on that.
तो सर how much upside should you तो ratio में determine कर सकते हैं हम suppose 30-40% आप expect कर सकते हैं drawdown में what's the upside ratio? 1:2,
So
1:3?
1:2, 1:2, 1:3 is an fair expectation.
Okay.
Then comes another angle. Was Vishal 20%, 30%? Are you mad? Okay.
Hmm.
I'm not even comfortable with 10% drawdown.
Hmm.
Okay. Then you have to tame down your reward expectation also to 20 to 30%.
Hmm. That's true.
And those are the strategies which are more mean reversion in nature, where your accuracy is
Yeah.
very high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then comes like, Vishal, I don't even want 10%. I want only 2 or 3% drawdowns.
Hmm.
Okay. Then your return and the reward ratio also should go down to up to 10% or
Right.
15%.
Right. Hmm.
And then comes like, Vishal, I don't even want 10%. I want only 2 or 3% drawdowns.
Hmm.
Okay. Then your return and the reward ratio also should go down to up to 10% or
Right.
15%.
Right.
Okay. So that way, these are all different, kind of, and those are the high frequency trading strategies, or maybe very, you get next to the market and trade them.
Hmm.
So it again all boils down to those different kind of strategies and your return
Hmm.
expectation and your drawdown expectation.
Right. Sir, quick question. उसपे आपने अभी we are discussing about 30-40% drawdown. Maybe that happens. कोई black swan event आ गया.
Hmm.
In that scenario, sir, like people are extremely fearful. So उसमें they don't think about how do I make money out of it. They think about how do I save myself out of this situation. So sir, उसपे कैसे decision making होता है अपना? How do you make sure that your capital is still enough for you to get out of it and make sure that you can maximize it later on?
See, black swan is a very difficult, and that's why they are that's why they are called as black swan, right? If you can predict it.
No, not
Okay.
predicting it. Like make sure कि आप उस पे survive कर पाते हो उस situation में.
So what I have realized over a period of time, Akash, is the best way to survive for a black swan event or any kind of a drawdown is diversify. Okay.
Okay.
Diversify across instrument,
Mm-hmm.
diversify across instrument. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
diversify across instrument, diversify across time frames,
Mm-hmm.
diversify across trading style.
Okay. That can you go a
Okay.
little bit deeper? Like
Yeah, I
each
will
point.
go. I will go. So diversify, diversify, diversify. वो मूवी था ना डायलॉग एंटरटेनमेंट एंटरटेनमेंट एंटरटेनमेंट.
Yes.
Similarly, you have to think about diversification, diversification, and diversification. Once you start, kind of increasing your capital. What do I mean by diversification of style? Okay.
Hmm.
Diversification of style means have a trend following strategy,
Hmm.
have a mean diversion trading strategy,
Okay.
have a strategy that makes money in the non-directional market as well.
Okay.
Okay. So that's style.
Hmm.
Okay. Then there is something called volatility breakout system also. So there are
Mhm.
different kinds of style of trading. Then I
Okay.
talked about diversify across asset class.
Hmm.
Okay. Like put in INR, put in
Hmm.
commodity,
Hmm.
put it on currency, put it on commodity, put it in stocks, put it
Hmm.
in fixed income.
Hmm.
That diversification across asset class.
Correct.
Diversify across time frames. Trade
Hmm.
5 minutes, trade 15 minutes, trade 1 hour, trade daily chart.
Hmm.
Now, a question would immediately come to everyone's mind. Vishal, इतना पैसा है नहीं.
हाँ.
Okay.
मैं अभी वही
And
पूछने वाला था.
see, I know that. So the thing is, you will not think about diversification till you reach a certain scale.
Hmm.
Because when you are with shoestring capital, and one of my very good friend always tells this is called capital market for a reason. You need to have capital. First of all, a lot of traders
Yeah.
comes with 50,000 to make a big money in the market, which is not the case. So my point here was that have tried to build a capital, or if not, then stick to one style, one time frame for a long period of time till you build a sufficient capital. Then think about diversification and
Correct.
pray that black swan doesn't come when you are trading.
Hmm. Correct. Sir, another question. हम asset class की बात करते हैं. Like you should diversify in like stocks, You should diversify in terms of strategies, trading style. सब में diversification होना है. Sir, every asset class पे अपना mindset अलग-अलग होना चाहिए. Like even in like value investing, momentum investing, that you have to have a different mindset. For trading, you have to have a different mindset. For trading into options, you have to have a different mindset. Trading into a different asset class altogether, you have to have different mindset. Sir, बहुत complicated हो जाता है ये सब समझने में. Can you simplify it? कैसे ये कर सकते हैं?
Quick one. If you're into the stock markets and would like to open a demat account, I have partnered with Angel Broking. Please use my referral link. Their technology is amazing. I love the platform. They have one of the lowest brokerages in the industry. It's 20 rupees per trade. Their support is amazing. I have used it myself. I can vouch for it. Use my referral link. Now, back to the podcast.
Delegate your work, because as a person, and still it is going to be difficult, I'll be very honest with you. Okay, I'll give you a simple example what you rightly mentioned. Say commodity, we are trying to build certain strategies. Commodities are not mean reverting. Okay, commodities is usually trend following. Why? Because if there is a shortage of supply, there is a genuine shortage of supply. Okay, and when people buy in panic, they will buy.
Yes.
They will buy, like you remember the crude oil went to below zero.
Yes.
Right, when there was an over excess of supply, there was a genuine over excess of supply, and people will become irrational to trade those. Okay, whereas if you are going to trade, say, INR or any currency, they will usually tend to be mean reverting. Why? Because central bank will intervene, because they don't want to hurt the importers or the exporters. Right. When there is a stock, they usually have a tendency of mean reverting, whereas in index they have a tendency to trend follow. Options, usually out of the money options become zero, so it will have a mean trend following characteristics.
Correct.
So over a period of time you build this hypothesis. Okay, you as a trader becomes very difficult to change your mindset.
Correct.
And that's why you build your strategies.
Right.
And then you automate them. Still that is going to be very difficult, because even in our book we are more, once our capital grew, we started trading a lot of mean reversion or non-directional strategies. Okay, and we are trying to get something on the trend following, but still we find it very difficult even after automation, because the payoff profiles are not what our style is. So it's a journey of ever evolving.
Correct. Right.
So that's what it's not easy question to answer.
Yeah. Sir, basic simplest form में आप बोल सकते हैं, like which asset class should people trade into first and not think about other things? What would that be?
So find your style and find your instrument. You will be very successful. Whatever, when I read through all those books, okay, when I read through Market Wizard book, all the top traders that got interviewed, or maybe that was an era also, they were purest trend followers, and they were trading commodities.
Correct.
Okay, that was the 1970s and 1980s era where it was an inflationary period, and commodity used to trend beautifully. Once there was a breakout, it used to go breakout. Now a lot of that hypothesis there, actually when the stock market boom came in 1980s and 1990s, there used to be a lot of automated system. So a lot of institutional money came in, and they started feeding the market in terms of, मेरे पास बहुत सारे shares है, जब भी बहुत सारा shares गिर जाता है, Reliance, Tata Steel, the insurance money or LIC money or the mutual fund money will come to buy it, because everybody wants to buy it on SIP or low on averages, right?
Yeah.
So they will buy at the lower end, and then there was a spike up on the upside. The stock tends to have a mean reverting characteristics.
Yeah.
And that was an era of stock mean reversion. Okay. So a lot of breakouts used to face. So what I'm trying to say is, find an instrument, find your style, and find a strategy. When all of them will be combined together, there will be a chance that you will be successful. Still a chance.
Yes. Hope. You have to be hopeful. Sir,
Yeah.
Okay, you find an asset class and then you do some research. Sir, direction पता है हमें, like we have a viewpoint कि market ऐसे जाएगा. That view can be translated into different asset classes like options, equities, index. Based on the capital, let's say 1-2 lakh का capital है, which asset class is does like historically seem more profitable for that capital? What would you say?
See, again, it's a very tricky question to answer because, see, I always believe have a lot of people jump with 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees, and which I
Hmm.
did.
Hmm.
Okay. And I blew up my capital multiple times
Yeah.
because the probability
Hmm.
of you surviving is very
Hmm.
less
Hmm.
because 3 or 4 trades on the wrong risk management will put you out of the business. Or maybe if you really want to do that, if you have a 10 lakh rupees, make a
Hmm.
pocket of 10, 1 lakh each. Grow
Hmm.
out your capital at least
Hmm.
10 times. But
Okay.
in that journey, you will understand what is your style that you prefer.
Hmm.
Okay.
And
Because it's very, very lucky people get their style and their
yes.
instrument in
Hmm.
the first go. Because
Yeah.
we are the creature of figuring out, we are a creature where we think the grass is greener on the other side.
That side, yes.
So even if we are making money on our style, we
Hmm.
still want to explore the other side. And when you
Yes.
go through all of them, you realize, no, that's not my style, or that's
Yeah.
not the instrument that I want to trade.
Yeah. So you have to at
So
least taste it.
taste it, and maybe you
Yeah.
blow up your 1 lakh in each
Yeah.
category to figure out that I'm okay with, equity,
Yeah.
or I'm okay with index option, or I'm okay with commodities. So I can't answer that for you.
So you have to lose first. So let's say you go in a bad direction. You blew up your capital. Like you feel disheartened. You went into depression. You think that stock market isn't for you. And then like you don't have enough confidence or courage to at least try the next step. So the situation में कैसे निकल सकते हैं?
You should get out of the market, and actually, market is not for you.
Okay, right.
See, why I decided to move out of DJ and why I decided to move out of cricket.
Hmm.
There was an impulse in me which kept on telling me, no, Vishal, you can succeed.
Hmm.
But somewhere I really figured it out
Hmm.
with the probabilities adding up to it. Maybe there was a story about a guy called Pravin Tambe. Okay,
Hmm.
at the age of 30, whatever, 30, whatever age old, there's a
Hmm.
movie also on based on him. He just
Yeah.
believed that he can do it. But
Yes.
somewhere, you will figure it out. No, that's not for me.
Hmm.
The
Hmm. Hmm.
probabilities are getting stacked against me.
Hmm.
Okay, and one of my very good friend Madan Kumar, he
Hmm.
runs this workshop, and
Hmm.
in that he says my biggest achievement after
Hmm.
the workshop is people walking up to me and telling me, I don't think so. Stock market is for me
Hmm.
because I thought it was a very easy money, and he made
Hmm.
them gruel through a lot of charts to do manual backtesting, and then they realize it's a really hard work. So
Hmm.
for him, the success was people coming up to him and telling him, the stock market is not for me,
Hmm.
which is very contrary, you would think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But somewhere you have to draw that line when
Hmm.
your health is getting impacted, your families are
Yes.
getting impacted. That is the time you
Hmm.
have to draw that line, and very few people can do that
Yes.
because when the stock market bug bites you,
Hmm.
trust me, it's like coming back, and that's why people call it like a casino.
Casino, yes. From my understanding, from what I've seen, like when you go through that phase, what I've seen is like it's not the strategy that's the problem, like it's your mindset in that scenario.
Yeah,
You may not have that personality trait to become a financially successful trader.
right.
You can, you even though you have enough knowledge, you know what are the risk management, but you don't have patience, you don't have let's say the courage to take the chance, like you would obviously not be able to follow that system.
True.
So I think that is what I have seen, and that I can resonate from you. Like you say that you should get out of the market. Like that's to keep yourself safe and your close ones. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, quick question, sir. You are on the board of CMT. You have worked with all these famous like traders. You know how all the institutions work. You have experience on the buy side. You've worked with Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. You've worked with so many like
So I've not
investors.
worked, just a clarity, I've not worked with him. I've actually worked in terms of whatever his requirements were. I used to kind of reach out to through
Yeah.
Bloomberg. Yeah.
So what is that one commonality that you see from these people, including yourself, that you see that, okay, this is one thing that we match on, and that's why we are able to find our niche in the whole micro stock markets?
So two things, not one thing. For them, the strategies are not important.
Hmm.
For them, the risk management is prime importance.
Correct.
Okay, they've realized that the minute this game, and even over a period of time, I've realized is staying in the game is more important. Okay, because what happens is, Akash, you have to understand that SEBI came out with this report that 90% of the retail trader lose money.
Yes.
So there is always a constant churn of traders coming in and going out, and new traders coming in and going out.
Yeah.
Okay, they are coming and then putting their money and trading random stuff and then moving out. Okay, so the people who are able to take all that money that is being given by those 90% of the trader is the people who are staying in the game.
Yeah.
So how can you stay in the game is being in the game.
Game.
And
Yes.
how can you be in the game is basically you just bet small and take your risk to reward ratios, or you play that consistent game of making some money consistently, which eventually build your strategies and your style and everything. So first is risk management, being in the game, and
Yeah.
secondly they figured out what is their style
Okay.
and building their strategies on that style. Because why people will come randomly and go out of randomly, because they have not figured out their style.
Correct.
Why,
All right.
Rakesh? I always have this fight. Okay, in fact, there was one good thing. So there was I forgot the name of those two traders, but one interviewed in the market was are both legendary traders. Okay,
Okay.
okay. One worked with George Soros. Okay, and he said, "Okay, technical analysis is bullshit. I've never met a rich technician." Okay, and in the same book, there is one legendary trader. He said, "I use fundamental," because that other guy was using purely fundamental. Okay,
Yeah.
and he said, "Okay, I used fundamental for 10 years and got rich as a technician." So you, that's why I always tell people, never undermine someone. Like I never say bad things about fundamental, or I never tell
Exactly.
bad things about discretionary traders. In fact, I have more regards for them.
Yeah.
Okay, because everything works.
Works.
It's just that you have to figure out whether it is working for you
For
and
you.
never demean anyone else.
Exactly. Yeah. There are applications to both of them in their
Yeah.
own fields.
Yeah,
It's not
I can
just
give you
one.
10,000. Yeah, I can give you 10,000 examples where a fundamental failed. And
Yeah.
similarly, fundamentally will give me 10,000 places where technical did not work. At
Yeah.
the eventual heart of that problem,
Hmm.
okay, and who survived that journey is risk management.
Right, got it. Risk management is the most important thing. Okay, this was a fantastic podcast, sir. Please share, like, people where can they reach out to you, where they can ask you questions, and please let them know about your business market scanner so that people can
Sure.
avail those services as well.
So, okay. So, in terms of they can reach out, I'm pretty active on social media like Instagram. I'm pretty very active on Twitter and LinkedIn. Regarding Market Scanner, it's a blog of education. We do run a mentorship where we talked about a lot of systematic strategies, which we have figured out seems to be working. Does not mean that they give you 100% or 200%. No, kind of snake oil selling, but they are consistently making 20 to 25% per annum, not
Right.
per month. Okay,
Yeah.
but that will give you a thought process about how do we go about building our strategies.
Right. That's awesome. I can personally vouch for Vishal sir. He is like I said, he's a prolific algo trader. Like I have a lot to learn from him. Even 1 hour, 2 hours isn't enough for him to share all of his learnings. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank you.
Vishal sir. Thank you for this. This was amazing.
Thank you. Bye bye,
Thank you.
Akash.
Have
Bye
a great
bye.
day.